Aboya Aboshishe. So I am on a bit of a field trip here in um, San Francisco, the world famous Ghirardelli Square. For y'all who don't know, this is what the Ghirardelli Square looks like in San Francisco. It's a nice, posh environment, very comfortable and neat and clean, etc. And it's really interesting because uh, I have been coming to the Bay Area for a long time. I have family up here, and we used to come when I was younger, and we would, shop down here and things like that. So my memories of this place go back to my childhood, and then, as an adult, I moved to the Bay Area and raised my family here. But honestly, this is the first time I've ever come and just camped out on Ghirardelli Square, and so. Uh, and the nature of my trip, the reason why I'm here is very unique. I'm coming here to essentially put out fires. Put out some significant fires, and so it's interesting to be here as an adult on a mission, right? And just having to be here as a matter of course, right? But looking out over the different layers of memories that I have, memories of being here as a parent, bringing my children, memories of being here as a child with, my family coming here, and mostly being able to filter all those experiences through my training and my practice of Ifa. And today is the day of Ifa veneration, or Joawu. And the reason why I'm sharing this particular message today is because I can see that in the short course of my life, relatively speaking, my experience as an Ifa devotee is only about 30 years. But the tradition is timeless. It's been around for thousands of years. And I can say with total certainty that the perspective that I have gained as a result of my experience in these 30 years is the deciding factor in my ability to approach this phase of life and do the things that need to be done in a way that gratifies my spirit, in a way that does not rob me of the depth of experience, the emotional depth of the experience. It doesn't rob me of the freedom to choose and act and be clear in the midst of sweeping change and deep challenges, right? And I'm saying that because I have other experiences, right? I'm not only trained and experienced as an Ifa devotee and priest, I'm also a professional, and I have as many years as a human services professional, as an educator, as a counselor, as a trainer, etc. I have as many years as an intellectual, as a student, as a scholar, right? And there are many other, dimensions of my life, but each of them has their own set of parameters, have their own limitations. And those limitations, if I were just a scholar, you see, then the limitations would rob me of certain um, emotional capacities. If I were just a professional, it would that those parameters would rob me of certain abilities to express myself and be myself, right? But Ifa is unique, Orisha lifestyle is unique because what it does is it reinforces my identity, not my circumstances, not my titles. It reinforces my identity. It reinforces my purpose for being here. Ifa is constantly reminding me of why I exist, right? Not just why I do this and why I do that. Ifa is not just reminding me of what's good and what's bad. Ifa is letting me know, hey, Obafemi, this is who you are. This is why you exist. This is your purpose. This is what the world must have from you. And so, with that certainty, I can be all the dimensions of myself, so long as I am staying in tune with what is truly real for me, right? And this is crucial because we live in a time wherein, for example, social media, people who have a little bit to lose, right? Not people. We're not talking about the head of Macy's or the head of Cheesecake Factory or the head of Cartier or the CFO of Tiffany and Company. We're talking about just folks who have regular jobs, people who have a house and a car. You know, people who have $20,000 saved up and they've got I don't know 80,000 in their 401k or something. People who have just a you know what I mean. It means a lot to you. It means a lot to us as people. But relatively speaking, it's just a little bit, right? But we're so afraid of losing that little bit that we can't even go on social media and express ourselves. We can't say what's really on our minds because we don't want to be fired from our jobs. We don't want to have our accounts used against us. Just as an example, right? And so what I'm trying to express to you is that as far as my experience is concerned, all of the other ways in which contemporary humanity identifies ourselves set limits and impose they impose limits upon our ability to outwardly express ourselves, and or they set limits on how we can internally even experience ourselves in ways that are bad for us and detrimental to us, because we have certain traditions, certain educational traditions, certain spiritual traditions that we're accustomed to here in the West that deny us, they rob us the freedom to, for example, to be enraged in the face of injustice, right? We have been trained and conditioned that as things are unfolding around us, we don't even have the right to be outraged and enraged, and if you've internalized those practices, if you are true to that tradition that you practice, then you'll experience an internal conflict because you genuinely are experiencing something that is outrageous. You are genuinely facing something that is so unjust and so wrong that the only response is to be fully enraged. There's so many things that are happening around us right now that we should not be taking sitting down. And I don't mean that we should be going around and looting and breaking windows and all. I don't mean all of that. But I mean that you should be able to, at the very least, say within yourself, I am furious behind what's going on. And I'm not going to bottle it up. I'm going to stand and express wherever it's appropriate. Whenever I have the opportunity, I am going to say what needs to be said. So we're stifled in this time where we have more freedom and more access. It's interesting to note that people are sticking to their knitting. People are minding their cues and their P's and their Q's, and they are not doing anything to get out of line. The only thing that people do, and these are the only things that are socially acceptable, is for you to act a fool. For you to get up there and do the most outrageous, foolish, nonsensical things. That is all that is socially acceptable. But at the point that you are going to speak truth to power, at the point that you're really going to address the underlying issues and principles and laws that are counterproductive to the human experience, that are counterproductive to your own well-being, then all of a sudden folks are scared. Everybody is clamping down, and you're being muzzled. That's the time that we live in, and I don't intend to make this into a rant or make it seem like I'm complaining. I'm just painting a picture of what I see and what I'm experiencing all around me, what I see in the faces and in the walk of the people, and what I hear in the quality of people's voices, the choice of people's words, what they say and what they don't say. And I'm looking at the ways in which Ifa and Orisha lifestyle overall have liberated me and so many other people from those limitations. And it isn't that we're reckless. I'm not reckless, and I don't encourage anybody else to be reckless. However, my not just my parameters, but the objectives of my life and the foundation that I stand upon in my life is such that I am more confident in my destiny than I am in public opinion. I'm more confident in my ancestors than I am in the established, the gatekeepers and the placeholders. I have a stronger belief in Olodumare than I have in any other power. And so and I am equipped with the skills and the decision-making abilities because of my tradition to be able to act accordingly. See, it's not just that I believe and I'm faithful and I can just sit here and you know what I'm saying, Orisha's gonna work it all out for me. No, I know Orisha's got my back, Orisha's got my front. And when I choose to move in a direction, I know that the deities are already moving before me. I know that the deities are moving to my right and moving to my left. I know that my destiny has already shielded me and protected me and is going to enable me to ascend to the highest heights of my purpose and my reason for being. And so in these times, I want you to use every stimulus, everything that's happening around you. If you're looking at the affirmative action was just struck down, for example, and that's one of the main drivers of what I'm thinking about in a big picture. You know, I got my own personal thing going on, and that's close to my heart, but it just happens to be taking place at the same time that the affirmative action was struck down. And, you know, when you look at other things that are happening around the world, financially, politically, socially, observe those things, assess those things, but continue to focus on how Ifa is guiding you toward reinforcing your identity. Continue to ask Ifa for the kind of directions that you need to be true to yourself in the face of these other aspects of reality. Continue to ask Ifa, hey, Ifa, give me the guidance, give me the wisdom, give me the courage, give me the clarity to be able to stay true to myself, to stay true to my destiny, to stay true to my ancestral promise right here, right now, because I don't belong to another space, I don't belong to another time. This is my time, and I am who I am. So obviously, I need to be who I am in this space and time. Ifa, guide me in fulfilling my purpose in this moment. Make your prayers that way. Be bold enough to at least ask for the courage, to ask for the guidance, to ask for the clarity for how you need to show up fully in this time, because they're running the most crazy game on us that you could ever imagine. It's unbelievable what's happening in the world right now. Not only did affirmative action get struck down, for example, but Biden was proposing to forgive student loans, right? He was talking about he's going to forgive student loans. At the same time that the Supreme Court struck down affirmative action, they struck down the student loan forgiveness, right? Now, that's an interesting combination, because I'm old enough to have received what they call the Pell Grant, we could go to at least the state universities almost for free. You know what I'm saying, you came from a certain socioeconomic background, you could go to school almost for free. And then halfway through my own education is when they started going to the student loans. And so now you got young people who are graduating from college, 23, 24, 25 years old, and they've got $200,000 debt. You see what I'm saying? They got 200,000. How are you, a poor black boy, poor black girl from who knows where, USA, first one to go to college, maybe the second one to go to college, you got no endowment, you got no trust fund, you got no property being passed down to you. You are pretty much on the front line of progress for your whole family. And now you're at the tender age of 23, 22, and you got $300,000 debt, and you haven't even worked a day in your life yet. You have no experience. You have no connections. You got no network. You're not thinking about speaking truth. You're not thinking about being authentic. You're not thinking about standing for any principles. You are definitely not concerning yourself with the needs of your broader community. You're thinking about, I need to make as much money as I possibly can, as fast as I possibly can, so that I can at least manage this debt, which will enable me to start a life and take care of a family at some point. So at the time of life, when our young people should be most free, when they should be most empowered, when they should be following their ideals and their visions with most dedication, they are too scared to, get fired from their job, or they're too scared that they won't be able to get a job, to even think about anything other than what's going to please boss man. You see, these are the things that we're being robbed. We're being robbed of the opportunity to be young and free, to be bold and courageous. Because it's the young people that push the envelope. It's the young people that forward the culture. It's the young people who are on the vanguard of change. It's the elders who then, provide the structure and the support that allows them to do what they need to do and grow and express themselves in a way that's not self-destructive. So this is the time that we're living in. This is our moment. And it is up to us in particular who are old enough to know better. It's up to us who have been around long enough to see what the cycle looks like. We need to set the example for the future generations. We don't have to be reckless, like I said. We don't have to be all, flamboyant about it. But we do need to be true to the game. And we do need to show these younger people that you can absolutely, positively do well while you do good. And that you have an obligation to something greater than yourself. And the only way for you to fulfill your identity and have the kind of gratification that you really are seeking is for you to be true to your identity. We can't compromise on that. It's integral, particularly for those of us who practice Orisha lifestyle. Because if you practice Orisha lifestyle, and based on my experience and working with my people for over 20 years now, the overwhelming majority of you are the custodians of your family lineage. You are the ancestral custodians for your lineage. You are the ones who have been chosen by your ancestors to remind your lineage of the ancestral promise. And so we say Isheshe Lagba. Isheshe Lagba. Isheshe Lagba means that Isheshe is senior. Orisha lifestyle is senior to everything else. Orisha lifestyle is senior to the bank, senior to the country, senior to Christianity, senior to Islam. And you as the custodian of Isheshe are required to be senior. You are required to be the more mature. You are required to conduct yourself as the elder. And the elder is the one that shows the younger how to live and how to be in a way that is most congruent with our identity, with our ancestry, with our lineage, and our purpose. So I want to urge everyone to get more clear about why you're in the tradition. Get more clear about what this tradition can do for you. And ask the tradition, ask the ancestors to help you be the solution. Ask your ancestors to show you how to live the medicine that's going to heal your life, and how to heal your family, how to heal your community, how to heal the people that you're destined to serve. Ask them to really give you the insight and the guidance for showing up and being present in all the ways that this situation demands, so that we can survive this time and thrive in the next time. So, as always, I'm sending out this message to the leaders. I'm looking for people who are ready to transform the world through positive influence. If you're one of those people, I want you to visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look very eagerly forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.